I read comic books and I was the hero of the comic book. I saw movies and I was the hero in the movie. So every dream that I ever dreamed has come true 100 times.
Just a king of rock and roll, king of rock and roll.
Baby, baby, baby. Baby, baby, baby.
Oh my God, oh my God.
Yeah, baby. The best 2 hours of Elvis.
Blue Suede Connection. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You know, we've talked about all the people who say they love Elvis in the entertainment world, but pro wrestlers, there's a lot of pro wrestlers that love Elvis.
I know. So tell me, who exactly is Jerry Lawler?
Jerry the King Lawler.
The King, they called him.
Yeah, he's called the King.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
And his ongoing joke was he was the King of Memphis.
Really?
But,
was he from Memphis?
Yes, he's from Memphis. And
this is making more sense.
Yeah, so back in the early days, wrestling was regional, and Jerry pretty well owned the southern part of Memphis and all that as far as wrestling, and he was the man. And he was an Elvis fan. He talked about Elvis often.
Wow, so this makes total sense because I'm reading this article called Elvis Presley versus Jerry Lawler, What Could Have Been.
Yes.
And they talk about how in the mid-'70s to late '70s that wrestling was huge, especially in the South.
In Memphis,
and there was nothing bigger than wrestling and Elvis Presley in Memphis.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Wow, I had no idea. So apparently Jerry Lawler's manager, his last name was Poole, Poole.
Mm-hmm.
He apparently came to Jerry and said, hey, let's see if we can invite Elvis into the ring.
Mm-hmm.
I hear that Elvis likes wrestling and he's big in karate and he's been all over TV, I guess, with his karate stuff there locally in Memphis. Let's see if he'll come into the ring. So as it happened, Mr. Poole had a friend who was the fan club president of Elvis International Fan Club.
Right.
And had been for years and years. And somehow he had a connection with somebody in Elvis's group. It doesn't say who.
Right.
And so he reached out to him and said, hey, we'd be very interested to talk with Vernon. They approached Vernon first.
Right.
And Vernon actually thought it was an interesting idea.
Elvis would have loved it.
And Vernon didn't like much.
Right.
Vernon did not like many ideas that came to him. He was very suspicious, very guarded man.
Yeah.
But he's also a Southerner at heart, kind of a little country boy who probably thought that was so cool.
Yeah.
So apparently he did bring it to Elvis, and Elvis thought it was hilarious. Elvis wanted to do it.
Yeah, Elvis would have been great.
Yeah, he wanted to do it, but the problem was Vernon had told them that Elvis was not in very good shape. This was the end of 77, and he said, you know, Elvis is getting ready to go on a tour, and he is getting in better health, and so he'll be ready soon, but he wants to do this.
Wow.
So of course it never happened because unfortunately we all know what happened that year.
Yeah. Well, Jerry was really big in Memphis. Eventually Jerry did come to WWE and was a commentator for years.
I didn't even know that Elvis liked wrestling.
Yeah.
That totally blows my mind.
Elvis liked those manly things, those guy things.
Exactly.
We're covering the big ones today here on Blue Suede Connection, all the big songs from each decade that made Elvis Presley the man. Mm-hmm. And now, speaking of Return to Sender, we gave out Jailhouse Rock information earlier. Mm-hmm. Anybody who sees the video portion of the song when he sings it in the movie, he's kind of doing a kind of a twist kind of little move, and he kind of looks off to the side and smiles at somebody. He's smiling at Jackie Wilson. Mm-hmm. Because they were actually good friends. You've heard Jackie talk about Elvis here on the show. Mm-hmm. And he's kind of doing his moves a little bit, and he's on purpose. He's mimicking because Jackie's in the crowd. Yeah. So next time you watch that little smile of Elvis's and watch as he looks. You can see that look on his face like, yeah, Jackie, you're watching me right now. And I'm doing you.
I'm doing you.
Yeah. So there you go. Great, pretty song right there. A little doo-wop happening with it, and just a good all-around tune right there. Mm-hmm. I could slow dance to that one.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
But I can't fast dance. I don't have that kind of rhythm. I don't have the confidence in myself to get out there and do that either.
Yeah.
But you do. You like to dance, and lots of people out there like to dance.
Get your boogie on.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about Elvis and dancing here.
Alrighty. Well, ElvisRocksOnline.com has released the 10 best Elvis songs to dance to.
Okay.
And so we're going to start at number 10. They've got Blue Suede Shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Number 9 is Love Me Tender. That would be a slow song.
Yes.
Number 8, Can't Help Falling in Love. Another lovely slow song, often played at weddings.
Those two I could handle.
First Dance weddings, I think, where they come out and do their first dance together. 7, Hound Dog.
Now, could you dance to Hound Dog, really?
I probably wouldn't, but I guess you probably could. Don't Be Cruel, yes, totally could dance to. Burning Love, number 5, absolutely could dance to that. This is one of my favorite to dance to, number 4, Rockahula Baby. I love that. And I also love number 3, Bossa Nova Baby. Very good. Viva Las Vegas is a good song to dance to, but I like the remix. Is a little more fun.
Makes sense.
Number 1, I just totally would not dance to this, and that is Jailhouse Rock.
We hope you're having fun today on Blue Suede Connection. That's what it's all about. It's all about our Elvis party we have every week, and we want you to always share our show with your friends and invite them to the party, right, baby?
Exactly.
We want to keep building this thing, just building it, and free Elvis radio is what it's been all about from the very beginning.
That's right. Free Elvis on the dial.
That's the way it works, because you can pay for it if you want, and we have no problem with that, but I like free. Free's good in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
All right, baby. Now, once again, we'd also like to hear from you and make you part of the show, not just to listen. We want to hear your voice, and we want to hear your words on our page. And, baby, tell them how to do all that stuff.
All right. Well, you can call us, 540-227-0514.
I love Blue Suede Connection. That Dan kind of reminds me of Sheriff Andy Taylor. And TL, well, she's hot just like that beauty I dated back in them old range, Lou Ann Povey. Yes, sir, I love Blue Suede Connection. Speaking of sweet things, you got a little story you're going to share with everybody right now.
Yeah, I got a story about the Wrecking Crew.
The Wrecking Crew. Okay.
You know who the Wrecking Crew is?
I know it's a movie, but I don't know anything else about that.
So in Elvis's little circle, the Wrecking Crew were the Stanley brothers. That would be Ricky, Billy, and David Stanley, which was his stepbrothers after Vernon married Dee Stanley.
Right.
And they had a little story that they shared on Facebook a while back, David did.
Okay.
And he was talking about how one of his jobs while they were on the road was to wake up Elvis. And back in 71, he went into Elvis's room, tried to wake him up, and I guess he wasn't budging.
That could be scary, waking up Elvis.
Yeah. Well, apparently he was not easy to get up.
Okay.
He had a hard time waking up. And so he kept trying and shaking him and trying to get him to, wake up so he could be sure that when he left that Elvis was actually awake, and he couldn't get a response.
Uh-oh.
So I guess he went back into the living room where his brothers were, and he's like, I don't know. What do you want me to do? He won't budge. He won't even acknowledge that I'm trying to wake him up. And they're like, well, he's got to wake up. So they all 3 go in there. So now you can imagine.
Teamwork.
Yeah. So you got the 3 boys, at the foot of Elvis's bed. Like, how are we going to get Elvis awake? And they happen to see a jug of water.
Oh, no.
So
I have a feeling I know where this is going.
Apparently Ricky grabbed the water, and yes, he doused it over Elvis's face, which shot Elvis straight up out of bed.
Uh-oh.
And of course the game was on. Elvis was all over them, and they were wrestling all over the place and smashing up the room. And
boy.
Elvis was grabbing water, and he wasn't angry, but it was like, like siblings having a row,
And the thing is, Elvis was the oldest in the room, but he's probably the most youngest at heart.
He was grabbing water and getting all of them wet.
Yeah.
And of course the bodyguards come running in thinking, somebody's beating Elvis up, and it's just them, and they've trashed the room. So I guess they started to be called the Wrecking Crew.
So that was it. That's good. That was a good story. I can imagine what the help at Graceland, the messes they had to clean up.
Oh my gosh.
We've heard all the stories about shooting out light bulbs and swimming pools.
Yeah, firecracker wars. They would take firecrackers and put them in bow and arrows or something and shoot them at each other while they were on fire.
And of course, who instigated all of that?
Oh, Elvis.
Elvis himself.
Yes, I don't know how he didn't burn his house down.
It's a wonder.
It's been said that the fire department was called out more times than for any other resident in that Shelby County area.
I can believe it, but we wouldn't have him any other way, would we?
No.
ATL, I hear people are making the connection.
That's the rumor.
But in case you've been living on Mars
or vacationing in Venus,
we've got a show for you.
It's 2 hours of Elvis and fun.
So join the party.
Make the connection.
The Blue Suede Connection, that is.
Keep moving, move along. Keep moving, move along.
Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.
And hit that notification bell.
We are your Blue Suede Connection.